It should pop up in your feed more momentarily. And it's
nice. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 5, season 2 of Shooting the Breeze, and today my guest is Kia Mazhar. Kia's a local Ottawa comic, and he recently returned to Ottawa after spending 6 months in BC. So welcome to the show, Kia.
Thank you for having me, Simone.
You're very welcome.
I've never asked you this. Did your family name you after Nina Simone?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not really sure, actually.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
The other day, and I was like, should ask.
Yeah, I don't think so, because I think I would have heard the story.
Yeah. Okay.
By now, yeah, I think I would have heard the story by now.
Cool.
I know my mother wanted to name me after my father, which would have been a really strange name. My father's name was Desmond, and she wanted to name me Desrin or something like that. And I was like, thank you for not doing that.
Yeah, Desmond was actually a name that I always thought that was like such a cool name.
Yes, for a man.
Yeah, and just like a nickname, Des. But,
yeah, that's what we called my dad. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was yours, Des? What was your name gonna be?
Desrin.
Desrin. Okay.
Desrin or Sabrina.
Sabrina. Whoa, that's okay.
And then they decided on Simone. So.
Hey, you're lucky. My parents really just took the leap and named me Kiana. So, I know when it comes to weird names.
So, how have you been doing?
I've been doing great. I've been learning to do a lot of stuff, like cook from scratch. And also like producing kombucha and bread, which is nice. And that's something I would never do before. But now that the lockdown is happening, I need something to take up my time. And lately, I've been learning to just like do everything on my own, like soak beans and chickpeas and like just make all this stuff by myself. I no longer want to like go to the grocery store.
No, exactly.
You're
going to be self-sustaining.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm trying to change my mentality when it comes to consumerism.
Because you were in BC for until about September, was it?
Yeah, up till September.
Like
I went from April to plant vines for grapes and wineries, and then some trees for about 3 months. And then, of course, you can't just like come right home, because that'd be super depressing. So I took some of that tree planting money, rented a Jeep, and just kind of like roamed around BC and the island for about a month. And now I'm back. Yeah. And at first it was super hard, but I moved into my own place, and I'm kind of enjoying the self-sustaining lifestyle.
Oh, good. Because I know, I think one of the first sets I saw you do when you came back, you were like flummoxed about the scooter situation.
Okay, because when I got back, I didn't want to come back right to Ottawa. I thought there was comedy happening. There was comedy happening in Montreal at the time, but when I got back, it died like instantly, and I already rented a place for a month. So yeah, I was like kind of stuck in Montreal. And one thing I got used to is you can rent a bike, and it was right outside of my house, and it's super easy, super fun, and kind of cheap. But when I found out that scooters made it to Ottawa, I'm like, you have this is the options, and you picked these giant metal pieces of shit. And are they even around anymore?
I haven't seen any in a while, so I don't know if it's a seasonal thing or what.
Yeah, that makes sense. It would be hard to ride your scooter in the snow.
I
feel like a bunch of people took them home. Just like I saw a friend's story with 4 of them charging in his house. I'm like, what?
Exactly, because I think you could leave them anywhere, and so people could be like, I'll just leave them in my house. If you need one, just come to my house and get it.
It reminds me of this project called like Yellow Bikes. I forgot where they were doing it. They were trying to leave bikes like for people to kind of ride around, get to places, but just what would happen is all the bikes would congregate into one area and they had no real like service to clean it up.
Oh my God. Yeah, because I didn't like I never rode one because I don't do well on a bicycle, let alone a motorized
Yeah.
one sort of thing. And yeah, I just saw like the few times that I was driving downtown, I just saw them zipping around all
Okay.
over the place. And a couple people I know have tried them and they're like, oh, it's great. You could just leave them wherever,
Oh,
like you don't have to bring like if you rent a zip car, like I used to rent zip cars in Toronto, and each zip car has like a specific parking lot
yeah.
that you have to bring it back to that same spot, that like you have to bring it back where you found it pretty much. Or like other companies, you could bring it to a different lot, but as long as it's run by the company or something. But these you could leave them like wherever, willy-nilly sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, someone's got to drive around Ottawa and collect them all at some point.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I just remember when I got back, they were gone. I just knew, like, man, I'm glad I didn't see those.
Yeah, because I think, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they're seasonal. Like
Yeah,
if they
that makes sense to me.
they locked them up or took them
Yeah.
away in like October or something. But yeah, so no, because your bit about that just killed me, made me laugh really hard.
I'm glad I was trying it out for the first time, and I'm trying to do more like physical humor, because when I first started comedy, I was doing lots of physical silly stuff, but my jokes weren't very clever. It was lots of like freaking out and like trying to be like crazy, because I started when I was 17, so like I didn't know like some of my
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was going to ask you, like, because you've been doing it for a while, but you're also very young, and you started very young too.
yeah. So I saw my mom would go to the shows with Yuck Yucks to Yuck Yucks with me and stuff. I definitely took advantage of that with the crowds. But yeah, so I would be super silly, and at one point, some comics just like very nicely. They weren't rude at all. Somebody, I don't know if you know him, Jamie Villeneuve. He was actually very supportive of me. He knew that I had some potential, and he helped me sit down and like really like broke down how to like construct a joke and stuff. And at a coffee shop, that helped me so much. I realized like it's so important. Um, but yeah, I was trying to let my words be funny, but now I'm kind of like I'm trying to add some more physical humor too, because that's kind of where I feel like I started.
Yeah. No, because I know that when you did with the handlebars,
Yeah,
the skating move, yeah,
yeah.
that added to it. That added to it. Because I knew when I knew I was going to interview you, I was thinking about the first time that we met, and we met at Swizzles.
Yeah, I remember.
And yeah, and I was with my friend Andrew, and you had asked if a seat was clear, and he thought you had said, is anyone sitting there? And so he goes, no.
Oh yeah.
I remember we just looked at each other, and then Andrew was like, what did you say?
Yeah, I was just free, and he's like, no. I'm like, whoa.
I was like,
probably see it getting really mean. I don't even know you guys.
I know.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, what did you say? And then, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I remember that. That was weird, guys.
That was funny, yeah. Because I hadn't performed at that point yet.
You were sitting there, you're just like, I want to check stuff out, I'm not too sure. But now you're actually like hosting shows and featuring. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because we were both nervous, and we said we're going to scope out a few and see if we can go up there and do it and just get a feel of the place. But like we were terrified. We were terrified.
The most I've bombed is in Swizzles.
Me too.
I don't know what it is. I know why when I first started doing it, it was just like I didn't really have jokes on it go up. But now when I bomb, I go, what do these people want? Like, yeah. I get it. It is a scary place.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite places, though. It's one of my favorite rooms.
No.
Yeah.
I know that if I can make people laugh at Swizzles, I'm definitely taking this to another stage for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. But no, I was thinking about that, and it just made me laugh because I just remember your face like, oh, and I was like, because I heard what you said, but my friend hadn't, and he heard something different. He's like, no. That was pretty funny. Andrew. Yeah, he's not into it that much anymore. but we're still friends. We still keep in touch and stuff
Okay.
like that. But in the beginning, like we went to a lot of shows together. We checked out a lot of places together. So
You did Pierre's class with him?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Nice.
yeah. We did Pierre's class together with I don't know if you know Emmett Morrison.
Yeah, yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, we took the course with us too.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool. Okay, okay, that's awesome.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
So
I heard about the class. Apparently, you put you right on first. Do you like introduce yourself on stage and stuff?
yeah, like the very first class, he gave us a premise. We had to come up with a punchline, and he gave us like, let's say 10 minutes, and then we each went up on stage, and he was like, okay, I can't remember what the premise was, but he would say the premise, and then we'd give him the punchline, and then he'd ask us questions, so we'd like introduce ourselves, but he got us up on stage right away.
That's really cool. Okay.
Yeah,
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 that's
like within the first half an hour we're up on stage.
yeah. So when I was working at Absolute, I still work at Absolute Comedy, but not no one's working at Absolute Comedy right now. Uh, the one thing I did was when I would open the show or like before anyone got there, I actually got onto behind the mic and I just like I would just thought I would sometimes I wouldn't say a thing, but I would just like hold the mic, look around, because once I realized I've only been on stage under like mass amounts of stress. There's no
Yes.
chill like I only got 5 minutes. I black out for 5 minutes and I walk off. Like that's been my comedy for about 3-4 years until I finally got onto the stage without a crowd and I just sat there and I like soaked it in. I'm like, okay, now feel like this with a crowd, just like
Yeah,
this, just this comfortable. And it truly did help that I didn't just like go up and then freak out.
yeah, your first time on stage, it's like full. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but no, the course was great. Like I loved it, because I'd never done anything like that before. So yeah, so I think it was like a smart move to just put us on stage right away. Just get used to being on stage, and then every week we would have to write jokes, and then we perform it for the class, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I actually when I was working a day there and I worked for as a I'm just a door guy, which a lot of people think bouncer, but I would never in my life be able to do that. Just a door guy for one of those shows, and some people have a lot of like a scary amount of talent. Like, whoa, you were born to do this, and then I go up and I talk to them, and they're like, oh yeah, this is just like um uh, I'm just doing
Like a
this to get
bucket
better at
list.
public speaking for my job. I'm like, okay. Like it blows my mind like that you could I don't know, I see the potential, but people just like they're not even there. They don't even want the stage.
Yeah, people do it for so many different reasons,
Yeah.
And I know from my class, I've I've kept doing it from the start, and then Emmett started doing it. I want to say like September, October, he started coming around, and he's doing pretty well too.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of like the quiet guy, right? He's
Yeah.
yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, just making
Yeah,
sure.
it does the one-liners.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
oh man, okay, yeah, I know him for sure. The first time I met him was he did the Mod Nights and he does Mod Nights and
Yeah, yeah, he does
I
yeah, he
didn't
does,
realize
that's what he
until way
does.
later. I'm like, who wants to add me on Facebook? Emmett, I checked him out. I think I recommended what song was it? I think it was like September Earth, Wind and Fire, and he gave me like a yeah, good choice. So that's how I remember him. So I knew, yeah, I love his one-liner
Yeah. Oh,
stuff.
he's great. He is
It's
really
a
great.
bit rare in Ottawa, and I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah, because I know when I started to see him again, I think it was I think it was during like the competition, when the competition at Yuck Yucks was starting up, and I think I had tagged myself that I checked in,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, I don't live too far. I'm going to come down," and I
Oh,
hadn't seen him in like almost a year at that point, and so when he after the show he came up to me, and so we were catching up, and I said, and he's like, I'm thinking of getting into it again and like coming out and everything, and I was like, do it. I was like, nobody does
yeah.
what you do. Nobody does it, so do it.
Oh, so he was kind of on the fence about it too.
Yeah,
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 it's
but
crazy
I
how
was
many people are just on the fence about it.
It's true. It's true. I know. Like and I get that. I get it. You know, sometimes if you're nervous or there are lots of different reasons for it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's doing really well. I'll be talking to him in a couple of weeks too. So I'm looking
Okay,
forward to
nice,
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll be definitely
Yeah.
listening in. That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, have you always wanted to be a comic?
Okay, so since I was a kid, I really loved New York and just acting and stuff like that. And I did drama and theater my entire like growing up. Even though I never connected with drama kids, I just loved drama. I would always be like, you know, my friends, and then I'd be the odd one out when it came to that. Um, all throughout high school, I tried to get into Canterbury, so like I really meant it. Then doing a bunch of theater, I felt like something was missing. The only time it felt good was when the audience was laughing. I didn't care about being
Mm,
dramatic. I wanted to hear audience reaction. I wanted that like approval instantly. And and I even got an agent at one point and went to auditions and stuff. And even that felt kind of like empty. Like I didn't
oh,
like I knew I wasn't gonna get a call back for a while. It takes a while, but just like going to them and just doing it, and I realized like there, there's something definitely missing from this aspect. And then I think this is an idea at like 3 a.m. Usually when your mind goes wild and is inspired for some reason. I just got the Yuck Yucks number down and I go, well, I should just do this. I don't know what I listened to, what motivated me. I just really liked stand-up comedy. I think Louis C.K. was one of the first comics I like really like got to know and like just like realized holy shit, comedy is just like
mhm.
crazy. You can talk about anything you want.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
also I had this I really liked defending people when I was in high school. It was great. Like I don't know why being shocked faces. I would always like crash assemblies and stuff. Um, we'd sing our friend happy birthday every single day except on his birthday. I don't know, stuff like that made me just like excited and like pulling pranks. Um, yeah, it was late at night and I really wanted to call then, but I got all the information down and then I finally called the next morning. He just like I don't know who it was to this day who told me where to go. I'm maybe Chris. Boris. He told me just go on the website and we'll figure. He also said, "How old are you?" Because at 16, I had like a baby voice, and I go, I think I was 16 when I wanted to do it, and I finally did it at 17. Um,
Okay.
and then he's like, "Yeah, I think you're like you should probably leaving an adult with you."
Yeah,
So
yeah. Bring your mom.
yeah, just in case. I didn't know what the rules were. Even my mom was like, "Are you allowed to go to comedy clubs alone?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Are you gonna have to come and watch me talk about my penis for 5 minutes?" Um,
Give her some earplugs.
straight up, I'd like make fun of my own penis, and then at one point I'd look at my mother in the audience and I go, like, "This is you did this." It was so uncomfortable, but she was somehow very supportive.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's amazing.
yeah. Oh,
Wow.
ever since then I realized, hey, that's exactly like this is it. I figured it. Even though I didn't do that great. Actually, my first set, after a minute, I look at everyone and go, "Can I start again?" My first laugh was somebody clapping for me, and I said, "Okay, fuck off. I don't need this." Like, that was the first laugh, and even that was like, "Ooh, I felt great." I knew I had to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's
yeah.
amazing. How would you describe your style of stand up?
Ooh, you know what? It's a hard question because I'm still trying to like find my voice, I guess. It's a lot of I like to hyperbolize things. Of course, well, like current events and politics, I really like, especially just like Canadian politics, especially with that Justin Trudeau thing. I really realized I'm like, ooh, this could politics is a great
Yeah.
section, and also maybe observational. Like I said, I'm trying out so many different things when it's coming to physical like
Mhm.
comedy and stuff like that. That I'm still not sure where I would put myself.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
it's good that you're trying different styles and different
yeah, yeah.
you know.
I got my my base, and every day I'm trying to like just try to write, especially this pandemic. Something about having all this free time really it's hard to take advantage of. Like I want to write so much, but even I listen to everyone and nobody's really written that much over the pandemic. I thought I was gonna come back to comics with this like new 5 minutes, and I heard,
Like
heard all this new
volumes
stuff. Yeah,
of stuff.
okay, I guess everyone's on the same page as me.
I think everyone's trying to get over the crippling depression,
Yeah,
in order to write.
Not knowing everyone else is depressed that makes you less depressed.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's true. You don't feel as alone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, you're depressed. You're suicidal too. Great.
Yeah.
Is anything off limits in your act?
No,
like,
I would say no.
Is there anything that you're like, no way, I'm not talking about that? Or
there was actually no, there was at some points where I'd be like, hey, should I talk about this? There was one thing that I was talking about, and the joke was, oh man, I don't know what it was. I think the lines were, Islam is a mental illness, so that's why doctors have to prescribe 2 pieces of bacon. And I think at the current events that was happening, it was super like news about the guy who the shooting in Toronto. I think it was like the incel who shot people, and he was
yes, in on the Danforth, yeah.
Yeah, I made that. I previewed that joke with a comic around a table before I got onto the show, and a producer said, "You're not getting on my stage to do that joke." I said,
"Really?"
Yeah, I said, "What?"
Wow.
I'm not.
Like, really?
And I did, and I haven't been there ever since.
Oh no. Was that here or in Toronto?
That was in Ottawa.
It was here. Okay.
Yeah. And I think no, actually, you know what? After a couple of years, I got back on. I kind of calmed down a little. No, it was, but that hearing that I can't tell a joke for some reason, and I was still young at the time, made me go, that's not a thing that you can't tell a joke. Like, and I think from then on, I really I like told myself I cannot let, if it's funny, it's coming out of my mouth. I haven't let stuff really like stop me that much, but
Okay.
yeah,
if it's funny, it's got to come out. Yeah.
I mean, some people are gonna hate you. That's fine, but most people most people walking into a comedy club expect to hear some vile stuff.
Yeah,
and,
it's true.
Yeah, and of course.
And I always think once there's a point to it,
yeah,
exactly. No matter how like horrible somebody thinks it is, if there's a point and it's funny,
yeah.
it can fly.
And something about like the best laugh is the oh.
That's yes.
That's the best laugh I could think of. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is.
Or that uncomfortable, like, this is funny, and I know we shouldn't be laughing, but I can't help it. That's always a good one.
That made me realize, like, man, what is coming out of this guy's mouth, and why am I laughing so hard? Yeah, that's exactly. When I like. Yeah, it was just randomly on. I was just like scrolling through TV, and he was on late at night or something. Yeah.
What's been your best experience in stand-up so far, and your worst experience so far? Yeah, your best and your worst, if you've had one yet.
It will start with my best. I think it's easier because I've had so many bad ones. When shoots. I think it might have been one of them. Definitely has to be like a couple of weeks ago in Cornwall, where I got off the stage and I did okay, and I was scared because once I did a kind of outskirts show, and I was doing my jokes that I guess they didn't relate to, or I don't know what it was to. The dreads might have scared them. I'm not sure, but it wasn't going too hot. So when I thought, oh God, Cornwall, like the comics just shit on Cornwall, it's gonna be a mess. I'm gonna get stabbed. Like, God damn. I did okay, and I was pretty happy. Not only did that happen, when I got off the stage, these hecklers who were just like berating other comics shows the entire night walk up to us at the end of the show and just, they were nice to me because I got on first and they were not drunk yet. They really messed up everyone else's act. They walk up to all the other comics and they're like, we're a little drunk. We're trying to be mean. Anyways, we want to talk to that guy. They put their hands over uh, Lewis Hill's face and goes, anyways, we want to talk to him. I'm like, this is not good. Buy me a drink. And my parents have always taught me to say no like a bunch of times until like people really insist. But this is one of those moments I go, no, I'll take a picture if that's cool. So they got us a picture and they're like, yeah, come drink with us. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna like humor them. I gave the rest of my picture away to the comics, and I started drinking with them. As I was drinking with them, one of the ladies hands me money, and I go, I'm not doing what you want me to do. She's like, no, you're funny. It's a tip. It's a tip. And I've had this only happen once in Swizzles, and I denied it, and then at this point, again, I went, yeah, fuck it, $20. Thank you so much. Like, this is great. This makes this triples how much I made tonight. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and that was it. I thought I was like, this is hilarious. Drunk people giving me money and
exactly,
beer. I'm like, what? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
As for my worst day in comedy, man, that's a weird one. Maybe when I first started comedy, I felt like I couldn't connect to everyone else because they were much older than me, and they were comics, so they like to shit on each other all the time. And I was really new to that, like a stranger bullying you. Like, how is that possible? And it was like fuck me. I think I showed up really high once, okay, to a show, and a comic cracked a joke, and I was too high to realize it was just a joke, man. And I think for like a week, I was like, none of the comics like me. None of them like me. I don't know why I let it get to me so much, but like, of course, I showed up back a week later. Everyone was fine, and I think I got into my own head. I think that might have been it, but
when you were tripping or something.
Yeah, I was pretty much tripping. And another day was I got like threatened for a fight. It never went to fruition. He's like, "Oh, see you outside," stuff like that.
Oh, so challenged you to a duel?
Yeah, and
why?
I think I was making fun of divorced people. Okay, so I think a big stereotype for white people is divorce. And I don't know what I struck, what I did. It was
you hit a nerve with somebody though.
Yeah, it was a small show in Toronto, and it was like I was surprised. It wasn't even like, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up in front of everybody. Be like, he came up to me personally, and I was like, talk to some other comics. I'm like, that man is wants to hurt me. But I think he was just scaring me because the fucked up part, I spent an hour inside of that club. I'm not leaving. Man, I don't know anyway. I got no muscle.
You're like, I'll hide in the bathroom.
I got no muscle here. What the fuck am I gonna do? So I'm just like, and I go, he's gone. I'm like, he was probably not even considering fighting me.
He probably forgot for all you know. He could have forgotten. Yeah, because I was gonna ask. That was a question I was gonna ask. Is if you've ever been like, has anyone ever like challenged you after a set, like, you know, you shouldn't have said that, or I didn't like that joke, or anything like that. Have you ever been challenged like that?
That's how it started, and then of course me being stubborn, I just got the guy more offended. I'm like, okay, well, you don't belong in a comedy club or anywhere near like the internet, so please get like. And then I think that's when, like, when it's personal to your face, I think that's like, yeah, it's somebody's gonna call for a fight. But I've always had the I've always had like the feeling like I need to escalate this. Like, I can't let this man walk away. I don't know. This is also much younger. Like this, I'm walking away from all these kind of like ideas. As a kid with a bunch of testosterone, I felt like I needed to challenge back with my words. Watching too many movies.
Smite him with your words.
Yeah.
What about this runs into like hecklers? Have you ever been like heckled really bad, or been harassed by a heckler or anything like that?
I'm really lucky, and I can say no, I haven't been heckled. Like, the worst is like I had a party taking shots, literally like they had 2 rounds of shots in between my set, and they were clinking. And I don't know. It's been really lucky, thankfully, when it comes to hecklers. I haven't had a lot of trouble.
You haven't had a bad experience or anything. Well,
No,
that's
no,
good.
it seems to be okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good to know. Um, do you feel like, say, pre-pandemic or pre-lockdown, did you do any comedy when you were away? Did you get a chance to do any stand-up when you were away?
I didn't. When I left, things were. I think I was in a lockdown for about 2 weeks before I left. I wasn't even gonna go tree planting this year, but I said, where the hell else am I gonna be in this apartment for?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was gonna be 6 months. So thankfully, I decided to go, and the only show I did was a roast show in my camp. I just roasted everybody in camp.
Okay. Okay.
And
Do you
roasted
feel
one of
that
my
you're
bosses, one of my foremans, and that got me some heat. Sure, because I like my joke questioned their professionalism, and they're like, "Where did you get that idea?" I'm like, "It's a joke. I swear it's a joke." And
I
like,
swear it's just jokes. Like,
yeah.
Everyone gets all like defensive.
I would even walk up to people saying, "Hey, like, do you mind if I roast you for the show?" Some people, of course, said no, but most people are kind of okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like has your comedy or your style, do you think it's changed like from say from performing before the pandemic versus the last few months when things were open?
Has it changed? You know what? The only thing that's changed is I'm nervous again. Since I left for months, I knew it was going to be a problem. I was going to lose that kind of like, I don't know. I like my nothing is greased.
Momentum?
Yeah, my momentum, and I did lose it. I was getting like invites to shows and things like that, but then I would not be nervous on stage. It would be like I'd get pumped up. But now it's like I feel that heart bumping, the temperature change, and
Oh wow.
yeah, I feel that again. And of course, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Probably like part of why I started. Um, no, the only thing I changed is I actually stopped taking risks. I'm not sorry, other way around. I'm taking more risks now. Before the pandemic, I was kind of still, being safe. Like I said, I was like, I wasn't trying to be too offensive, even though some of my comedy is super offensive. I was scared to say certain things or like certain ideas. But I spent a lot of time on Facebook, and I saw a lot of people being banned and a lot of Facebook groups just getting rid of because people are reporting like
Yeah.
crazy. People are getting reported. My stories are getting reported a bunch recently, and they're getting deleted. I'm getting threatened.
Yeah, I saw one on Instagram. Got somebody reported you when you're doing a face mask.
Yeah, so I did a clay face mask, and I said doing blackface sends good ideas. Or then when I got taken down, I said, okay, I did another one. I didn't put blackface because I thought maybe the Instagram algorithm is fucking with me. So I just put Trudeau ain't got shit on me. And then it still got taken down. So
somebody reported it.
Yeah, I realized like, oh, there's lots of everyone's getting canceled, or you can't say certain stuff these days, and Facebook groups are getting taken down because of a few bad apples or just like spoiling the bunch. So I realized I can't have like an ounce of fear. Now I go up, like, even if it's a rough idea, I'm not afraid to work on it. The other thing is my friend's cat. You can say hello.
Oh, okay. Oh, hello. Oh, black cat. I've got black cats too. Because I thought it was a cane at one point. Because I just saw the hook. I was like, what is that?
So much time on this computer chair. Yeah. Anyway, seeing that on Facebook, I started leaving these groups because I was like, man, I don't want to end up kicked off or something. So what I did, I joined a bunch of roast groups on Facebook. So I joined Facebook groups that are specifically people being mean. So like I'm not gonna get in trouble for saying a certain thing.
Yeah, because it's a roast group, exactly.
Yeah, and hey, ever since that, I found this new confidence on stage. Like even if I get a groan from the audience, I might not see these people again for a bit. So if
Yeah,
anything's changed in my comedy, it's like I'm not nervous to say like anything anymore.
that's
That's
good. I've noticed a lot of people that I've asked that question, that's been like one of the most common answers, that people are taking more risks.
mhm.
They're not afraid to do new stuff, like do their whole set of new stuff, or what, like, or stuff like that. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
Because I got used to, before the pandemic, I got used to my 5 minutes. This 5 minutes I was doing, and like the joke about my name and the climate change stuff, and it was clean cut, 5 minutes done. I kept doing it and doing it, and things were going well. But when I got back, it just felt wrong to do it. It's like wow,
Yeah.
that's 8 months old. I'm gonna repeat an entire script again. Like the world has changed since. So now
Yeah.
I'm because you should really take this moment to fuck up if you can, because like no one's gonna remember what happened this year. Like all the stuff, they're months apart, so no one's gonna like can remember exactly.
Yeah. And I think it's always good to test yourself, and to test, that's the only way you're going to know if something's going to work, is to try it out. And I think more and more of us are less fearful of just trying stuff out. Let's just see how it works. If it works, if it doesn't work, there's that level of fear doesn't seem to be there anymore, which I think is great.
Mhm.
you know what else? um okay, this, I was going to ask, like, how do you deal with like bombing or a bit not landing? And I guess how you deal with it now versus how you dealt with it a year ago are probably very different now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would never bring attention to it at all, or yeah, it would just be like, okay, next thing. And it just, of course, like people are still wondering, did you just not realize no one's, you suck. Like so what people are thinking in their head, they're still thinking of the last. So now I'm addressing it a lot.
Mhm.
um Sometimes I'll blame the audience as a joke, being like, you guys can give me a round of applause for all, or like, not me. I go, if I like make fun of a certain group, I'll go, but in all seriousness, let's give a round of applause to me for these really terrifying jokes, and usually like really brave jokes. And so I'll do that.
Yeah, applaud me for being brave. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
funny.
I'll address it for sure. And if I do have a bomb, I'm 100% doing everything in my power to get a. I'll be in every lotto show until I get a good show. Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
I still
um
deal with bombs better, to be honest. So I'll look at myself and be like, am I even funny? Like that thought's still there.
that like existential crisis, like,
Yeah, like,
what am I doing? Like,
you doing comedy? Like, this is a mistake. Like, but it lasts an
what,
hour. And then I go, yeah, you asshole, you're
yeah,
fine.
yeah, do it. You love it. You love
Yeah,
it. Sort of
yeah.
thing. um what what qualities do other comedians have that you admire, whether they're pros or locals, or what are there qualities that you admire that other comedians have
Yeah,
that you may or may not have yourself?
it's crowd work. I think crowd work is such an impressive, just talent to have. And Josh Williams is, in my opinion, like not just like in Ottawa, but like like one of the best comics I've seen doing crowd work, and that's something I admire so much. And because of him, I'm trying to go on stage, leave 30 seconds to a minute for crowd work. And I'm doing
Okay.
safe crowd work right now, where like most likely the answer is going to give me is going to have to be might help me for the next punchline. But I really want to
Okay.
just like, yeah, this one thing is that like the comfort and the attitude of like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. You can go ahead and attack me if you want. I'm gonna come at you and win. That's
Okay.
something that I
Yeah.
feel like Josh Williams does well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's not an easy thing to do.
No, no, not
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
not easy at all.
And I
There is a skill to it.
when you're not comfortable and you try crowd work, sometimes you look like you look socially weird. Like, why would you?
It's true.
You don't know what to say.
And
Like,
the audience is like, why are you trying to talk to us? Like,
yeah, exactly.
stop it. Like, Leave us alone. Just do your jokes.
I love it when like the person someone can like be the boss of the audience. Like I said, yeah, it's
Yeah, and
like
yeah.
Trick, I don't know if you've seen Tricks before. His
No.
he's he moved to LA, I think, or to America, but he was headlining a lot. He was a Toronto comic. He's hilarious. I've heard he's done like shows with like Tom Segura and stuff, and but he has that boss attitude. Like he comes on stage like, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And dude,
Everyone's like,
I love that attitude. Like, yeah, yeah.
exactly. No, that's yeah, I enjoy that too. Do you have favorite comics? Like,
Favorite comics? Yeah, right now, I think even though it's always been controversial, Louis C.K. will always be my guy. I watch religiously. I still watch it. I bought his new special.
yeah, me
Uh,
too. I bought it
yeah,
too.
yeah. And I played it on the block for other tree planters like several times when we're waiting for the helicopter to come pick us up. I'm like, all right, we're listening to Louis C.K. for 20 minutes, and they love it. Yeah, he'll always be on top. But some up and comers, man, there's so many comics I keep like I lose names.
Mhm.
Jenny Kier, you know Jessica Kierson?
Yeah,
Oh my God, she's fantastic.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
Jessica. Like, and you know what's fantastic? If you support her on Instagram, she'll message you, be like, "Thank you." Like, she'll like send you. It's so cool. It's weird seeing that from a
Oh
comic.
wow.
Yeah, she's super. She's just like working super hard. So I think if there's a comic I should mention, it's her. She's an absolute killer. Um, but some I think just mention some Ottawa comics that I get excited for. There's definitely like I say Josh Williams and maybe Tavis, because they're just like they're the crowd work guys, right? So
Mhm.
for Ottawa comedians, those are the two guys I'm like, yes, I get to watch their show. Yeah, I never get bored of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, what sort of stuff makes you laugh? Like, what kind of comedy or humor makes you laugh out loud?
Sometimes really shitty puns. For some, when I'm with another person, they just like kill me. They absolutely kill me. But like I said, the stuff that I shouldn't be laughing at, the stuff that like makes your eyebrows raise, the stuff like, yeah, definitely the more offensive it is. But if you can make it clever, it's yeah, it's yeah. Just I really like offensive humor for some reason. I don't know where it comes from and what a psychologist has to say about it, a therapist. That's what I like lean towards. It's just
Okay.
like Joey Diaz and like the Andrew Schultz and those people of the world, Louis C.K.'s of the world. Yeah.
Okay. um, like what? Because I consider you a seasoned comic because you've been doing it for much longer than I have.
Mhm.
Like what sort of thing, like if you were a new comic, like what kind of advice what would you tell your younger self? What would
Um,
you today, what advice would you give your younger self starting out in comedy?
chill out is one. Like they can hear you, they know you're excited, just chill out. Um, I'd say uh figure out the formula to a joke. That's the first thing is figure out the formula to a joke. Let your words be funny before anything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, and then you can develop your own style, but like you really need to know making these people laugh and yeah, try to stick to try to keep writing, but stick to the stuff you know is funny. Because
Hmm.
my first 2 years, I don't think I went up with the same stuff on stage for a while. Yeah,
Oh, really? You went
yeah,
up with like a new set or
yeah.
practically a new set every time?
That pretty much diluted my set and everything, and like yeah, but honest
Oh,
and also get some life experiences, get travel and if you're young and you don't have life experiences, you can't relate to anyone. Like
yeah.
it's not until I got back from Australia where I had some stories to my life, and so I learned some lessons where I'm like, okay, maybe other people can relate.
Yeah.
But fresh out of high school, I don't know who you're gonna make laugh. Like yeah,
I have to agree with you on that. I think I know for myself, it's like life experience has helped has helped me a lot, because like I'm old, and so I've had a lot of life experience that I can, like stories and stuff that I can take and use. But
Yeah.
yeah, that
It's something about getting older is I noticed the nuances and jokes and just like timing. It just like in conversation too is it becomes more clever. It's just like,
mm,
man, it's the conversations, even the structure of a sentence when you're young is just like it's bad. Like it's so distracting from how you speak. Yeah. Yeah.
it's true. So I know I have here, what did you learn or do anything cool during lockdown? And you did. You went tree planting, and you were saying stuff about making sourdough bread and kombucha.
Yeah, lots of fermenting. Yeah. I love my sugar. To be honest, it's like my biggest weakness. So I needed
Yeah, I
something
love,
to
yeah.
switch my soda out. And I can't afford kombucha because it's like $6 a bottle. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
So
that's expensive. That's a
now
lot.
it costs me $7 to make 10
Like
liters.
17 batches.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes. Um,
What are your thoughts on online shows? Have you done any like Zoom shows?
it's
Zoom?
been offered. You know what? I was kind of against it until I heard a lot of comics going, I don't like it. They like it. And it seems like people are kind of down. Um, Personally, for me, the way I've been doing comedy is just live streaming. Um, I mean, if it works, if you can develop your, that's the hard thing. I don't know if you can develop jokes in stand-up comedy. Maybe you can, doing online. Maybe you can do your old jokes, but it'd be really hard
Yeah,
to gauge what works that's new. And it's kind of like, it's kind
yeah,
of
it's
nerve
very
wracking to come
different.
up with a new joke. You've done shows, right? How do you feel about
Yeah.
doing a new joke in a live show?
Um, it's been I've been okay with it. I've been okay with it. Like I know the first few times I did it, it felt very strange. But I just treat it like I'm doing a live show,
Okay.
so it's I'll structure my set a certain way. I'll decide what I'm gonna do, like what bits
You
I'm
have
gonna
to
do and everything. And
switch? Like, how much does your structure change compared to like a stand-up set?
not much, not
Oh,
much. Like I find I put the same amount of work into deciding, like, I'll find out, okay, or you do, it depends on like how much time you have.
mhm.
And then I would, look at other sets that I've done that are that long, and just mix and match and be like, oh, okay, I want to try some of these new things and throw those in and stuff. And then you just sit and do it, sort of thing. And I think audiences are more receptive to
Okay.
it, and that makes a difference. And especially, so I think the first online one I did was on Facebook Live. So I was just joke after joke after joke because I didn't have any feedback,
Yeah.
you know. But doing it on Zoom or on something where the people are in the room with you and you can hear laughter, see expressions, that makes a big difference.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so I enjoy it. I enjoy them, and I think it's an opportunity, especially like lockdown. It's an opportunity to still perform and to still try out stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
I've been considering it. I think it was on George's Oliver George's podcast. I think you mentioned you joined a lot. I don't know if that was his or JF's. Sorry, I'm kind of mixing it up.
Yeah,
You
I think I think
you
I
mentioned,
talked to, yeah, I talked about it on both, I think.
okay,
But I
okay.
joined a whole bunch of online groups
Yeah, and
over
then
the
you even
summer.
like in the States, and you said that actually got you sets, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I did a bunch of shows in the States and
Yeah, that was actually
online. And
inspiring. I wanted to ask you, like, outside of this, like, what are some groups you recommend and stuff like that? Because that's
yeah, sure, I can
cool.
send you some, because I know somebody, a comic I know in Montreal, asked me the same thing, and I sent her a few links. So I can definitely send those off to you too. So
Okay.
um okay, so now I've gone through pretty much all my like official questions. And so I'm going to, I want to ask, we've got maybe about 15 minutes left. So I'm going to ask you maybe two fun questions.
Oh, sounds good.
Okay. So I want you to pick a number between 1 and 62. So I'll explain to our viewers that I have a spreadsheet with 62 questions, and as I find questions and whatever, I'm going to add them to this sheet. So I shuffle them. Each one has a number from 1 to 62. So Kia's going to pick a number, and so whatever question corresponds to that number, that's the one I'm going to ask him. So
it's fine. I'm just gonna open a window real quick. I'll be back.
okay, sure. So I'll just take the opportunity to shuffle this.
My number. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
37.
37. Okay, let's see. 37. Okay. So the question is, if Hollywood made a movie about your life, who would you like to see play the lead role as you?
Oh shit. Okay. On my life, who would I see playing Kia? Who are the psychedelic advocates of Hollywood right now? I mean, are there any? Are any of them advocating acid?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah. Who would be? I think Johnny Depp would be great, because Johnny Depp, and then his character in wow.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, no. Even though I fit the role, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I think the way he reacted to those drugs were pretty funny.
Because that was the Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
Where he played Hunter. Oh, yes.
But I'm not following too much of Hollywood these days. I would love Jim Carrey to play me, because I've always wanted to play Jim Carrey. I think that would be fantastic. Like, yeah. Especially if he could play all my high school years, that's probably the most Jim Carrey-esque time of my life, where I was we were building snowmen, putting on carpets and dragging them into the school, and just leaving them and running away, letting the whole just reactions we wouldn't see, but we would see the posts on Facebook and stuff. That was good enough for us. Yeah, it's like hacking into a PA system in school and stuff. I think those kind of the stuff we did. We would do, oh god, there was a group of 12 of us, and we would do anti-spirit days. So I went to a school called West Carleton, which was a country school proudly, a hick school. I'm not even trying to be offensive saying hick. They have a spirit day called Hick Day. It's on our fucking calendar in school. Get ready for Hick Day on Friday. You throw hay bales, you dress like an asshole. And then, yeah. And so what we would do was go, oh, nah, today's gangster day.
You're like, no.
Yeah.
Gangster day.
Yeah. They were gangsters. So we would show up in baggy clothing with styrofoam cups and shit like that, pretending we're drinking lean. Yeah, and then our principal would be like, why do you think it's appropriate to dress as skaters while we're doing Hick Day? But we would do things that
get mad.
Yeah, we printed out the school documents of what the rules are in the school setting in the OCDSB, and we put it in our lockers to make sure whatever rules we're breaking doesn't get us in trouble. So we were really one day we dressed up as mariachi members. I had two friends playing guitar. I had the maracas.
Did you have the big hats too?
We had the giant hats, the ponchos.
The embroidery.
Yeah, I was doing gibberish Spanish. I can do gibberish Spanish. I'm not a molicante baresa de camarin. And I was just singing random Spanish, and we were getting people to come together. The grade 9s, it was their first week in school, so we're taking pictures with them, kind of getting them excited. Because I remember when I was in grade 9, the older kids would mean mug you and make you feel like shit. So we really thought this we are gonna piss faculty off, but we're not gonna
alienate the other kids. Yeah,
kids. We're for the kid. We're for the people. Um,
Mariachi for the people.
Mariachi for the people. What we wanted to do was actually hire a mariachi band and follow our principal around. But there's a couple things is they would be instantly kicked off of the school property, and it's a lot of money that we
It
don't
would
have.
cost a lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. For the day. Like that.
I remember being on the phone. Hi, I'd like to hire a mariachi band. How much do you guys cost? $1,400. I'm like,
Okay, thank you. Bye. Click.
I'm like, okay, I'll call you back. I'll do this. I'll do this every time when I know I'm not gonna call back. I'll go, okay, yeah, I'll call you back soon. Or like, I'll be back soon.
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Never get back to them.
But at the end of the day, we got our names called in the principal's. Like, we would like to see Kia Mazhar, Ben Ivany, Liam Mastersmith come to the office, please. It felt so. We were walking down those halls. People were looking at us like, yeah. But the best part about knowing the rules, and of course, I did end up breaking some rules unintentionally that got me in trouble. But things like so since we knew the rules, we knew there was no justifiable reason to get us in trouble, call our house, right, or something. Like so when they called us, we had the most confidence. Oh my god, I felt like I was going to like
because it's like, what are you gonna do? I haven't broken any rules.
Exactly. They sat us down. They're talking about how the school is worried that we're becoming a gang of sorts, that we're
a mariachi gang.
We're gonna fuck you up. Arriba,
the deadly mariachi gang.
Yeah, and so yeah, we would walk down. They sat us down. They're like, "You guys are a big disturbance. We actually got calls about this type of situation, and we don't want it to." And my friend pulled a lawyer, asked him if he's like, "Wait, you got a call about this situation particularly about students running around the mariachi? Parents called because there's a mariachi band in the school." We get a nice hard 5-second stare. No, but things related to this. I'm like, ooh, like it felt.
They got nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, we can't let this continue. Man, I just remember like getting called to the office and knowing that nothing is going to happen because we made sure the rules, we stuck to them. And apparently this wasn't a joke, but my vice principal calls me in and he just goes, "You are giving me what is it? You're giving me ulcers." And I go, and he's like, "I'm serious." And I go, "Oh no."
Not ulcers.
I was like, "Isn't that like an old person disease?" And I feel bad now for maybe the janitors, I think at most.
Okay.
But
to clean up whatever mess you guys made.
Yeah. But I think that group of friends in high school definitely developed a lot of my antics. Yeah.
So okay, pick another number. We'll do one more question before we leave.
Do 12.
12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 12 is, what is the dumbest way you've been injured?
Ooh. Okay. I was on a tree. I was climbing trees with friends, I think. No, I got a way better one. All right. If you go to Alberta, because I've been planting for like 3-4 summers already. And in Alberta, they have huge canola fields, and these canola fields are these like bright yellow patches with the blue on top, and it looks like a sea of yellow. So finally, my friends, after kilometers of seeing, like hundreds of kilometers of seeing these canola fields, I'm just like, pull this shit over. I'm not going into this, even though it's apparently highly illegal to run through people's farms.
That's like a little thing called trespassing.
Yeah. It's because we saw a barn that was so slanted it defied physics. So we're like, okay, we got to go see what's happening. So we're running through the patches, and it's beautiful, it's amazing. And my friend is like, "Hey, let's take a video of you popping your head out." And so I did. I was doing like little dolphin dives, and you go
in the fields.
I got really into the jump, and I did an actual like full blown like dolphin dive, landed on my chest, but canola field soil is not soil. It's hard ground with plastic on top.
Oh,
So I went from just laughing to going, oh,
to being
no.
impaled.
I cracked 2 ribs.
You cracked 2 ribs?
Cracked 2 ribs because I did a
You
belly
just
flop onto
bang.
the ground. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And things only got worse because I tried to keep planting and doing stuff, and no, I
And you
got
can't
kept
breathe with cracked ribs. Holy
yeah, you
shit.
can't breathe, laugh, cough,
Yeah.
smoke weed. You can't do anything.
Function.
Yeah, it sucked. So I was out for the season because I kept trying to plant, and then by my 300th tree, I'm just in my by my
Yeah.
gosh, just like holding my chest, waiting for the day to be over.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is the dumbest way. And I do have a video of it on my Instagram. I'm sure there's a video of me just like
Going through and then splat.
yeah, and then it's really funny because you see this. You see me jumping once, jumping again, jumping, then staying down for like
Said
3
nothing.
seconds, and the next jump is like so weak, and it's not even a jump. Yeah, you can just tell.
He just falling through the canola.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's funny. I think we all have like a dumb injury story. You haven't lived if you don't have a dumb injury story. At
Yeah.
least one. Well, thank you so much for
Oh,
your time. It was great. It was great talking to you. Is there anything that you want to promote or let our viewers know about?
I'm streaming these days a lot. Uh, Bob Marley is the name of my Twitch stream, so it's KABAB, not KEBAB Marley. And you can find me on there. I'm back to a schedule again since I'm in Ottawa. I'm back to Ottawa. And I'm making a 12-part series of Halo 3, an old school game with uh, Josh Williams, Georgia Silly, and Abdullah Usman. So that's going to be coming up soon. It's just going to be a
Okay.
shit show and Bob Marley gaming on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you again. It was a pleasure talking with you, and I hope I get to see you in person soon.
Of course, yeah, I'll try to
Oh,
make it to the next possible show when it happens. But
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Well,
yeah.
take care of yourself. It was good talking to you.
Bye, Simone.
Bye. Bye, everyone. And